Indiana Jones is one of my favorite rides in all of Disneyland, and the main reason for that is the Hall of Promise. This single area of the attraction is working overtime as it can represent 3 different rooms. Before you actually get the opportunity to check out these chambers, you first must go through the Chamber of Destiny. In this chamber, you see 3 similar doors. One is covered by webs and the banner above it has an eye on each side of the face of Mara. Another one seems to have a circular mechanism, and above it has a couple of goblets of treasure on either side of Mara. The third door is overgrown, and above it we see 2 pitchers with water pouring out of them. Each chamber's door has its own dialogue and effect that plays out.
You seek the future. I will lift the curtain of time. It is your destiny. You seek the treasure of Mara. Glittering gold. It is yours. You have chosen wisely. This path leads to timeless youth.
The border of the banners over each doorway is slightly different. The one on the left sorta extends out, the one on the middle extends in, and the one on the right has this little swirl. Inside the Chamber of Earthly Riches, everything is bathed in a golden hue. On either side of you, you see a massive room filled with treasure. You can also hear the sounds of coins clanking as they rustle about. In the chamber leading to the Fountain of Eternal Youth, everything is now bathed in blue. Where there were once rooms on either side of you, there's now just paintings on the wall depicting people bathing in the fountain. You can now see a shimmering reflection off the surface of water, as well as hear it dripping. 2 stone figures that are depicted pouring out water are now illuminated. In the Observatory of the Future, there's a bunch of mystical speckles, possibly representing the stars of the galaxy. There is also now a skylight that has been revealed, and you can see the stars above the temple. After you have been caught staring into the eyes of Mara, there are 3 different sequences of projected mapped effects that happen depending on the chamber that you're in. If you're heading for the Observatory of the Future, you'll find that Mara's face gets engulfed in a storm filled with lightning and then eventually seems to rage into a fireball. If you're headed for the Chamber of Earthly Riches, you'll find that Mara's golden face will start to corrode rapidly. Those heading to the Fountain of Eternal Youth will find that the flowers wilt and Mara decays. Additionally, we find an interesting change with the dialogue. The path that leads to the Chamber of Earthly Riches, as well as the Fountain of Eternal Youth, have the same dialogue. However, for the Fountain of Eternal Youth, there seems to be an extra second worth of pause between the 2 sentences. For the room leading to the Observatory of the Future, you'll find that the second part of the dialogue is actually quite different. As interesting as these are, things get even more interesting when we see how things once were in the past.
For a small period of time in 2013, the voice of Mara was different. This was after projection mapping was added to the ride to bring the face of Mara to life, but before projection mapping was used on the doors themselves. Back then, they were still using the original effect for this scene where the Chamber of Destiny itself would physically move around the car. This allowed guests to actually drive through a different door for each of the 3 versions of the Hall of Promise, rather than the current effect where it just looks like a different door. If you look above the doorways, you'll notice 3-dimensional designs sculpted above each of them, whereas in the current version, these are flattened out to create a smoother surface for the projections. The eyes used to have unique colors for each of the 3 doors to correspond to the rooms they were supposed to represent, but now they all just glow blue. The script for the new voice actor was similar to the original, but with some small variations. They no longer say the phrase, "It is your destiny."
You seek the future. I will lift the curtain of time. You seek the future. I will live the curtain of time. It is your destiny.
The treasure of Mara is now simply referred to as treasure.
You see treasure like glittering gold. It is yours. You seek the treasure of Mara, glittering gold. It is yours.
And in the rewrite, the Fountain of Eternal Youth got Yoda'd, or, to put it another way, got Yoda'd, the fountain did.
You seek timeless youth and beauty. You have chosen wisely. You have chosen wisely. This path leads to timeless youth and...
But in the 2013 version, he said your path now lies beyond the Gates of Doom. In the present-day version, Mara says, your path now leads to the Gates of Doom. These exit lines were the same no matter which path guests took, whereas in the current version and the pre-2013 version, the observatory had unique dialogue when exiting the Hall of Promise.
As we go further back in time, we find the original audio for Mara. And surprisingly, contrary to popular belief, this audio is different from the one that is used today.
You seek the future. You seek the future. I will lift the curtain of time. I will lift the curtain of time. It is your destiny. It is your destiny. Glittering gold. Glittering gold. It is yours. It is yours. You have chosen wisely. You have chosen wisely. This path leads to timeless youth and... This path leads to timeless youth and...
It is subtle, but you can hear some differences. The change in audio is quite apparent once you go further down the chamber.
Look into my eyes. Look into my eyes. Your destiny now lies. Your destiny now lies. Your path now leads. Your path now leads.
When your destination is for the Observatory of the Future, things look much better when you're able to see the night sky without being obscured by the new effects. There is also a floating ring with the eye in the middle of it, like the one that was seen above the door, and this appears to have been removed. Where there once really wasn't any distinguishable music, we now find unique scores for each of the chambers. Right before Mara banishes you to the Gates of Doom, there is another voice that calls something out. I have found different videos with different shoutouts going to different chambers. I'm not positive, but it seems like there was a point of time where things got changed. This now lost voice has been replaced by a different sound effect depending on the chamber you're heading to. The Observatory of the Future has a gong sound, along with what sort of sounds like a missile hurtling through the atmosphere and hitting the Earth, possibly a comet or asteroid. For the Chamber of Earthly Riches, we once again hear the gong, but now it sounds like somebody gets a little too aggressive with some maracas. The chamber with the Fountain of Eternal Youth kind of makes a swoosh sound, I guess? Yeah, let's go with swoosh sound. The face of Mara was just mostly lit in the appropriate color for whichever chamber you're heading for. But for the chamber with the Fountain of Eternal Youth, a shimmering water effect which was used on the walls is now used on the face as well. And sadly, Disneyland is now a smoke-free environment. This concludes another video. Special thanks to Pie the Disney Guy for providing that voice for that fun little bit. He has a lot of great content, including a companion video to this one, so please check him out. I'm still pretty low on the YouTube ladder, so please like and subscribe to help me grow. Until next time.